Turning in all the directions, calling above and below to the space inside me that longs to glow. I call for the wisdom of my teachers and my elders and the wisest part of me. What is it that's going to set us free? How can we find harmony in this family? Please teach me. Show me the way. I know, the way will open. Where is it? Where's the fire? Rhythm in the middle. Stay centered. Stay true. Do what you're here to do. That's what'll soothe your soul. Rhythm in the middle. Rhythm in the middle. Rhythm in the middle. Soothe my soul.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to Our New Voice. We are here for a very special episode, although the person I'm speaking with probably wouldn't like me to say that. We're sitting here with a great friend. Welcome into the space, Groweesha, individual who is the creative life force energy behind this project. And today we're going to talk a little bit about where the inspiration came from, what is the purpose, and why it was created. Welcome, Groweesha.
Hey there. Thanks for the nice intro. I'm home and there's some dog action going on, but my presence is here and I'm happy to answer any questions and fill in the blanks about why Our New Voice exists.
Yes. So the first thing I would like to talk about, just to help people get a little bit more clarity on, you're a musician. What's the purpose or the inspiration behind the introduction song for you?
I'm still laughing at I'm a musician. But I can come in as a rapper maybe. I think more of a hip hop. Like I can't deny my rhyme game, but I don't know about a musician. I got a lot of great people around me to help support me to sound like it all makes sense. But Rhythm in the Middle, the song that we're using to kind of lead us into the conversation and out of the conversation. The initial way that it came through was just in my being lost in the sauce, and I would hike a lot and I feel a really deep connection to nature, and whether it's true or not, I think it's all alive and it talks to me and I talk to it, and I would say some of my best friends are growing right out of the ground.
Would you say you had a hiking problem?
I had a hiking problem on a regular basis, and it would bring me back to my sweetness and coming to what was in between me and God, because in my world, my connection to the source, all the energies that brought us here, that's what keeps me on course. So when I get out of whack, I get back into the woods, and usually, some guidance comes in some way. And Rhythm in the Middle is like that, Rhythm in the Middle, as you hear in the entrance, that was what very much along the lines of what I said that day. In the beginning was just rhythm in the middle. And my favorite part about Rhythm in the Middle is it grows. It's like that song that never ends, that, this is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. So I feel like Rhythm in the Middle keeps growing verses. So even the one that's recorded on the Spotify, there's more verses, but we kept it to those, so I enjoy it for that reason. And the real message of Rhythm in the Middle is being able to get over yourself, the idea of yourself, the protective systems that you might have developed to feel safe, and meet in the middle. And right now, ironically, it's great guidance for all of us, because so many of us have been, groomed to stand where we stand with the people we stand with and do what we do. But unless we can really come to a middle and shared understandings, we might just continue things that I don't necessarily think are working as well as things could work for our children and for expression and such. And
So can you talk
go ahead.
can you talk a little bit about how the song plays into the inspiration of the project, or how it relates to the inspiration of the project as well?
Yeah, great, thank you. So I would say in relation to the project, Rhythm in the Middle is about taking the voices of all the generations, because as I've grown and learned, each person kind of develops themselves based on what they're exposed to some degree and their frequency. So in the show, we have the voices of young people in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And we're asking all the same questions to allow us to kind of get a little sense of the terrain of how that home base gets created for each person. Because in that honoring and respect of the other's process, I pray that we're able to come to a middle where we can agree on what's really important and what's going to be our way of standing united in communities and the earth. I think pretty big. I see rhythm in the middle across the planet because I feel like it's real basic. And I think right now what's up is basic. The only way to start over is to get to the basics. Keep it very, very simple.
So for you, is Our New Voice more or less an expression of the song? Is it an expression of your soul mission and soul work, or is it just a piece of the puzzle?
Well, it's definitely a piece of the puzzle, but it does tie in some big pieces of my work, right? Because my voice is something that people have always responded to. And one of the reasons that it's called...
Talk about that.
Yeah. The reason it's called Our New Voice is because my voice has a strength to it, a conviction, a tone, some might hear, right? And it can come through very dominant, because of my confidence and my connection. And when you're speaking the truth from a place that I feel the truth, of course I'm confident. Like, I know it's the truth. Like, I appreciate that my distortion can be in there, and I appreciate that I might have to learn something, because I don't ever believe that I know everything. But I do know that the wisdom that comes through me comes from a very wise place that's not just for me. But I wasn't looking to come out as the Madeline show, because I don't believe in that. And quite honestly, I'm a little shy. I prefer my own time. Not even shy. I'm not really shy. I just like my own body. I like my own people. I like my smaller world. But I love humans. I think we are the most fascinating things, like how people study rocks, So the Our New Voice was, I wanted all their voices in there. Like, part of what gives me the clarity to share what I have to say is all the listening I've done every day for 30 years. So I wanted to bring their voices, and then all of a sudden it occurred to me, well, my voice can initiate our new voice. Because our new voice is, of all the cultures, of all the people, of all the ages and stages, what do we want? What do we believe? How do we rise? So I'm using my strong voice that I was given to help activate a larger voice.
Mm-hmm. Is your music, do you strive to create Our New Voice in the same vibration and frequency that is of your music?
In a way, because it's safe, it's goofy, it's corny. That's kind of why people with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, she's authentic, she's a little bit corny, but like, it's safe. So yeah, I'm trying to be like, listen, everybody, come on, come play. Like, feel safe. Say what you got to say. Like, what do you think?
So a different language of the same frequency, of that same rhythm in the middle.
Yeah. Living for a reason. And I think when we can come up with a reason to live, it gives you incentive. It gives you bubbles, right? Because there's been a despair. Like, you and I had a little conversation before we got in here about how that not good enough and that less than, that lack mentality, it's been on our game, and it's been really limiting our creativity.
Right. Because at the end of the day, creative life force energy comes from a state of infinite abundance. So to tap into that, thoughts of lack are blockages for being able to tap into that space.
Yeah, and thank you for that. You've always reminded me of that, and I keep that in there. And you always remind me of the value of really thanking all my ancestors and anybody who came before me to help me be here right now, to help all of us be who we are right now. Because there's been people that lived through many, many layers of this evolution of our human experience, and I'm so grateful to all of them. And there is an infinite possibility. And my bottom line is, if you wouldn't sing it in rhythm in the middle, be careful. Don't speak what you really want in your life. Like speak possibility.
Mm-hmm. So, if you would just talk a little bit about your experience in doing all these recordings, because you've done quite a few so far, and you've had quite an experience just having people open up to you in a very different way, in a very different space. So what was it like going from the inspiration of beginning the project to actually taking it out? And it's not complete yet, but after gaining the experience of talking to all these people, how was it? How did it feel?
I feel pretty honored. I'll say that initially there was a great humble part, right? There was a really big humility pie because I claim myself to be a therapist and a listener, but obviously with this strong force that likes its own course, I interrupt a good amount and I cut people off and I change the subject. There was some real boy, I don't really sound like that lady from Sounds True. Gosh, I don't sound like that NPR voice that I thought sounds so cool and all things considered. Boy, I definitely don't sound like that, so I had to come to accept how mine was going to sound. So there was the narcissistic first layer. And then as it went on, I was just so touched. And that's where I'm at now because I'm editing. I'm so touched by the voices, the courage, the openings into people's lives that they're offering to all of us and to each other. Because the quest for those of you who have been on the show is to, yes, have that time with me and share what you know, but then to take your ears and to hear all the other voices that are in the show so that you can have a bigger understanding of what we do and how we grow. So I really appreciate that the time and the energy that everybody who's been involved is expressing the willingness to bring to this project. That's the move, that's the way we're going to grow, is when we have more in it than just, am I getting what I want? Did I get that? What about me? It's enough. What about us?
Yeah. So how do you envision this project being used in other communities, maybe to bring about some of that rhythm in the middle, or to extend some of the missions of the project?
Well, you were a catalyst in that, and I'm grateful for your willingness. I pray that the conversations can go on in other communities. So maybe our conversation in the Our New Voice version that I've done will be one that can spark that possibility in other communities. Maybe our shares will mirror the shares of those, but sometimes in different cultures and different ages and stages, there might be a need to broaden the perspective within a smaller container. And so Our New Voice is a medium, almost to exercise safety in the realm of a giant talking circle that allows people to bring their voice into the shared space. And so I feel oftentimes we'll do that in certain places and certain times, but we don't always necessarily do it in a bigger way. So I pray that Our New Voice is an ability to bring our voice to a bigger circle where we make choices conscious of one another.
So it's not just about me?
Well, sometimes it is. You are that and all, but nope, it's not all about you. Thank God we got to learn that. So, but I did appreciate how you wanted to make 47 Tribe, and I can't wait to hear. I was thinking the other day, after I'm done with my editing, I want to listen to what came through, because one of the new visions as I'm listening is that it seems like it would make sense to do a whole bunch of people in their 20s and people in their 30s and people in their 40s for the other people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s to get a bigger picture right? Because, understanding how grandma feels or how mom might have felt when you couldn't talk to her, or seeing what the new kids are like, that's all great, gives you a little, freshness. But to really see your peers, to see the circles of your own circle, to see where you're vibrating, that can really give us some more clarity about what's going on. Because I know when I lived in certain ages and stages, I didn't realize until later that I was doing what everybody else was doing at that age and stage. I thought I was unique. But I wasn't as unique. There's definitely a programming that brings us right through a course, even at ages and stages, like when people get married, when people have kids, what they do. Like, there's a lot of it that we don't realize we're just doing because it's what's going on.
Most def. I think on the flip side as well, there's certain ways that sometimes we could tend to break out, and I think this project can definitely give folks a little bit of that extra confidence that they're not alone in their journey, and give them a little bit of extra confidence that this path, keep walking the path, and others is going through the same struggles, and we're not alone on the journey.
That's what's up. That's the truth right there. And I mean, that's the thing that is such an ironic part, right? Because one part of us wants so much to be like, okay, it's all me. I'm going to figure it all out myself. And you do need to know your elements, right? You do need to learn your fire, your water, your breath, and how to balance yourself. But once your instrument is tuned, one of those things I like to say is tuning true. Once you've tuned true, the only way to make music is with the band. So you got to come in and be able to play with everybody and bring your beautiful instrument. And whatever it takes to make you feel comfortable playing your instrument, well, let's create that, because God knows it's a symphony in nature. Why wouldn't it be a symphony with us?
Nice. And where can people find you, find more about you, find more about the project?
Well, initially Groweesha, GROWEESHA.com is a place that the podcast will surely be, and there'll be links to find it in other places as well. And that's how it'll start when it comes out. And if you want to learn more about me, it's there too. But really, like most you should know about me is I'm not just here for me. I'm here for all of us. And I know that shared prayer and harmony in the American family, or the United States family, or the world's family, or the Earth's family, or wherever it is, harmony in our families through like true understanding and compassion is imperative to really connecting back to the earth and coming back into wholeness, because we hurt each other, we split out on each other, and that keeps us from being able to feel that oneness that is us.
Well, thank you so much for your voice. Thank you for your work. Shouts to the Most High. All that is for allowing this energy to be made manifest through this project. And bless up. Peace.
Thank you for being the voice to help bring my voice through. And I appreciate you so much. And may this project continue to raise vibration, open-hearted communication, and bring the truth to the tables, right on the table, right where it needs to be. Nothing hiding, just totally open-hearted expression between you, me, and everyone else. Blessed be. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. May we listen for that sweet spot with all our heart.